It was for myself, it was a difficult situation, or a decision rather. I'm a staunch public school supporter. I'm a public trained teacher, instructor. And so this was a difficult decision for me personally. However, observing our daughter, as well as some outcomes of our son's behavior, I could see the benefit of a change.
Well, I guess, being from the public system, I know there's great things there, but the piece that the public system is missing is the faith piece. How Westgate incorporates faith into everything and allows kids to a way to explore their faith and ask questions.
I think originally the kids were heading to immersion at Calvin, and that was always our plan, that they would catch up on their French in an immersion classroom. And then we moved to Middlegate, and we met friends who were sending their kids to Westgate.
We had learned a lot from the travels, and as our children integrated back into school, our daughter had a real hard time coming back into her peers group. And as a result, she felt alienated, last chosen in many of the groups, and came home often in tears. And then the first day that she went to Westgate, she came home incredibly happy, telling us that, "Dad, Mom, guess what? You won't believe what happened. There were 8 people who invited me to their table at lunchtime, and I got to be their friends." And from then on, we saw her blossom into this beautiful young lady.
And so we went on a tour of the school, and we liked what we saw. And I think the thing that drew us the most, or for me personally anyway, that drew me the most, was I got a sense from what I heard and what I saw that there was a strong sense of community in the school. Teachers, the other parents, and the kids, and in my mind that was important to us.
Once we had kids, it was always a given that our boys would go to Westgate. We went there, our siblings went there, my dad went there, and we had very positive experiences there and wanted the same thing for our children.
I asked a number of people in our church, young people who were attending Westgate, I asked them specifically to give me pros and cons, one-on-one. And that swayed me completely. I didn't talk with their parents. I talked with them directly.
I think a big piece for us as well was the high academic standards at Westgate, the ability to participate in sports programs there that are at a competitive level. There's a variety of opportunities for the kids that we want for our boys in their educational time.
It was amazing, and it was just so much more than what we'd imagined,
We had an opportunity to send our children to a larger school where they had lots of different opportunities, but then everyone is competing for the same opportunities. Here at Westgate, every child has an opportunity to try out the sports, the drama program, music, even go on the different mission trips, as well as the learning visits to Jerusalem and so forth.
I can't believe how much the kids did. Just huge experiences there.
People might think that because Westgate's a smaller school that they would miss out on opportunities that they would have in a larger school, and that is not the case, because they present tons of different opportunities for the children, for the kids, and that is because the teachers are also committed to giving a ton of extra time up and beyond their classroom responsibilities.
I really like the idea that it's a small school and that the parents and teachers are involved, and I think from that perspective, it probably exceeded my expectations of the level of commitment that the teachers have in the school.
You could participate in a bunch of different things. You weren't slotted as a jock or an academic or a musician. You could do it all, and you weren't socially penalized, I think was his expression.
Right.
And because that was acceptable, because everybody could do it and it's inclusive and non-judgmental, I mean, everybody is encouraged and becomes confident in trying all these things, right?
They don't tolerate a lot, and we're pleased about that. That if there's a problem, they shut it down. And if there's a problem with my kid, they shut it down. And that's what we want as parents, right? To have somebody in our court too.
And research shows when you are safe, you are able to learn, you are able to take risks, and you are able to let yourself and encourage yourself to reach your potential.
there are expectations academically of our kids that they expect them to give them their best academically, and they push them to that. And I feel that we feel that we know that if the boys aren't giving all that they can, that we will get a phone call from a teacher, or that there will be some sort of way of knowing that our kids aren't right where they should be, and we appreciate that. And furthermore, the teachers are then prepared to go and the extra mile and spend the time with our kids to get them ready.
The notion of the being a Mennonite school for us doesn't really seem to have any kind of impact on how it all unfolded for us. We felt welcomed. The kids were part of the core group in the school. That felt really wonderful.
So when I think about raising our boys, and I think about faith, what we want for them is for them to know God, to know God's love for them, and to live lives that are pleasing to God.
I think that's very reflective of Jesus. He doesn't push himself on anybody. And so it wasn't pushed at the school, but I think he was there, his spirit was there, and kids were allowed to partake as they wished. If they didn't want to partake at all, there was no penalty for that. But Westgate's about bringing you in. Here's what we stand for. You're part of the community no matter where you're from. And if you'd be interested, this is our truth, right? We're going to give you grace. And that's, I think, the community. It's grace, grace, grace. And then, but there's truth here. If you want that truth, come and get it.
That's what stands out. I mean, you really hope for a lot for your kids in their school, and I think we're getting it. You know, we're hoping for them to, be pushed academically. We're hoping that they're being pushed with their faith. We hope they get the opportunity to do things like trips and outdoor experiences and play sports and sing in choirs and so forth. And they're getting all of that and more. And I think all of it's at a high standard.
It has been an incredible gift to us. We really I feel so blessed that we were led to that. I don't know how we got there. I didn't know any Mennonites before we had kids. No. And now they're everywhere. But it has been an amazing experience for the kids and for us, just from beginning to end. It's been wonderful.
I resent the notion that schools are parenting kids. But as I think about it, oh my goodness, that school parented my kids and did a great job of parenting my kids.